And good evening once again. Here we are for the last part of the scaffolding truck, the number 11. I completely forgot to press record. I thought I had. So I've got the stickers on. Now these weren't water slide transfers. They're actually sticky label type stickers that went on really well. So both sides. I've got the wheels back on the rear axle. All I've done is just splayed the end over to stop the wheel from falling off. Tapped it very slightly on my anvil, vice anvil, with a ball peen hammer, just to flatten the end so the wheel just doesn't come off anymore. So the last part to do is looking really good. I'm really happy with the colour of silver that came out. It's not too sparkly at all. So what we're going to do is insert the green windscreen, the plastic. Now I've had this soaked in furniture, in wax, sorry, the floor polish. I think I showed you the other day. Yeah. So I dipped it in this stuff, shook off the excess. I've had it in this dust-proof container with a bit of blue towel in it to soak up any excess, and it's come up really shiny, just like new. So we're going to insert that into the top of the truck. So what I'm going to do, I don't intend on taking this apart again. I'm going to use super glue. Some people use silicone sealant, but I don't like to. So I'm just going to literally blob a dob, that's way too much. So I'm just going to get one of these just to soak up the excess. That's way too much. Typical, that's come off. That's come out way too easily. So I'm soaking up the excess here. These are very handy. I used to work in an operating theatre, an ophthalmic one. These are what they use to mop up. These are very small swabs used for mopping up excess fluid from around the eye. Small and very absorbent. So that's that. So there's the insert. Just going to drop it in. I'm just going to use a cotton bud just to press it into place over the, there we go. Just give that a bit of a press down so it does actually stick. Now what I'm inclined to do is, on a cocktail stick, is just to dab a bit on the cocktail stick. I normally use Gorilla Glue. It's a lot thicker, it's more viscous, and just dab a little bit over the top of the rivet just so that it seeps in, and that should hold it in. I mean, this plastic insert is never going to come out again. It's going to stay in my glass cabinet. It's not going to get restored, so I am more than happy for that to stay as it is. So yeah, that should dry nicely. So whilst that's doing its thing, I'm just going to inspect the bottom of the truck here. The first part of the grille there, it's a red plastic, all moulded. Obviously I don't think Mercedes originally had a complete red front grille and headlights. Later on, a lot of these Matchbox toys had plastic bottoms. A lot of the newer ones, the Hot Wheels ones, are all plastic these days, but so a few of the older ones, they came with these plastic bottom chassis bits. There's no damage, there's nothing I need to do to that, so that can really just go back onto the model. Don't know whether you noticed or remembered that I've actually drilled out, so let me just remind you, drilled a hole out to 1.5 millimeters with a very sharp drill, one suitable for metal. I then tapped it to 2 millimeters so that I can insert a screw. Some people will just use a very low temperature aluminium weld and just drop a bit of that over the top. Some people drill it out and put a very small pop rivet in. Some people just super glue them shut with a bit of baking soda over the top. It's whatever you fancy. There's no real rules to it. Like I said, at the end of the day, if all you're doing is sticking it into a display cabinet, you can do what you like. I'm never going to sell this, so it's just for my own satisfaction. So here we go. Just going to pop that in there. Press that down firmly. That's nice. So I'm just going to now, it's a very, very small screw that I had to trim down. So just 2mm screw here. It's got a Phillips head on it, so that I'm just going to locate over the hole. Trouble with these small screws, you've really got to get them lined up. They're small magnetic tip screwdriver. Get your screw in straight because you don't want to cross thread it. As I say, this is very soft alloy, so the chances of you breaking it and ruining it are quite... There we go. So I suppose they call this like a mushroom head screw. It's quite pronounced. It's more pronounced than the original rivet, but I mean, you can't really see that at the bottom, not unless you twist it at an angle. And the vehicle, let's put the glue on before I knock it over and glue myself to the damn bench. Let's tidy up after myself. Put those in there. Right, so as you can see, it moves really freely, and that is it. So that is part 3 of this wonderful number 11 scaffolding truck. I think it came out brilliantly. Really, really good. So I'm pleased as punch. Yep, you can, I mean, this is camera will ever focus on that correctly. Thin layer of paint, really, so you can still read the bottom of it. It does say Matchbox series number 11 scaffolding truck 1969, Leslie product, something or other. Oh, I can't quite read that, I've got the wrong glasses on. But no, it's all there, and that's it. Can't remember where I bought the stickers, either Black Square or a decal company or modelsupplies.com, the only two I use. I don't have the paperwork here, it's gone somewhere. What's that? Is that it? No, that's not the one. Anyway, so yeah, regardless of where I bought them, it's all done. So that's another one that's going to go in the cabinet. That runs really freely. So my next project, I think, let's get those out of the way. I'm in my workshop and I'm shivering my tits off because there's no heating in here. I did have a 2.5 kilowatt radiator in there, but it's gone. I tend to on eBay buy, oh my god, job lot of damaged vehicles. I mean, and I decide what I want to restore. That's a good one. So I've got literally dozens of various Matchbox. I only really do Matchbox. I used to do Corgi and Dinky, but I just love Matchbox. That's a nice one to do. So I've got quite a choice of a lot, but at the moment I'm rather partial to possibly doing. I've got in another job lot I bought some Rolls Royce Silver Shadow 2s, so that's a bit knocked about. That's another one. Slightly earlier model, you can tell by the wheels. One's got super fast wheels and this one's got older. It's got the original number 24, that says, and that one says number 39. So they look very similar. That's got plastic grille. This one's got a metal one, an alloy one. And also this one's got a boot that opens, whereas as they started mass producing them with the first super fast. That was 1979. It doesn't say what that one is. Yeah, they just became basic. They used cheaper plastic parts, and obviously the boot doesn't open. Now someone's, this is another Matchbox super fast. That says number 39. Yeah, it's the same as that one. But someone's painted this. It's supposed to be, looks like British racing. No, it's more of a dark olive drab or something, like almost like a military colour. Again, the boot doesn't open, and they've made quite a poor job of that. It's done with a brush. I can see every brush stroke. Plastic grille again. They've done the indicators. They've tried to modernise it, but no, it's horrible. And again, there's this one, which is the same year as this one here, possibly. Slightly different colour base. Matchbox series number 24. Yeah, so it's possibly the same year as this one. So I've got 2 or 3 of these modern ones, so I probably won't touch those. What I probably would do is eat one of these, the best one of the two. Probably this. Actually, that's got a plastic, what looks like. Oh, this one possibly is older, unless they've painted that. Is that metal? I won't know until I take them apart. I think this one's in better condition, especially the windscreen. It's going to take less work, so I might even do, because like I said, I've got a couple of red ones, do this one silver. Polish all this up. Yeah, this will be a really good one. That's a nice rivet to drill out. There's only a tab in the front to release it. So yeah, that could be the next project. And another one I'm quite excited to do is, if I can find it, this is quite a rare one I haven't seen. Didn't even know it existed. An ISO Griffo, number 14. So again, it's quite an early one. Lovely colour. I've got just the perfect metallic blue for that. So even that could be the next car, I think, rather than the Rolls Royce. Something different. So I've got dozens of Rolls, well, not dozens, quite a few. And there's a lovely little Beetle there, which is already falling apart. A bit like Herbie. Bit loose. I'll say the as the newer cars came along, unfortunately they used cheaper parts, and the mouldings weren't as good or detailed, and more plastic, and yeah, the more it got played with, the looser it got. So I've got some unusual cars in the collection that I've bought as a job lot. That's a Mercury Cougar, bit of a hot rod, not my sort of thing. That'll probably go, I'll sell that with another load of ones I don't want. Mercedes Taxi, something different, 1979, that's worth doing, I think, something a bit different. Yep, so this will keep me busy. Oh, I've got to show you this. Someone's done a Cougar. No, it's a Mercury, sorry. They've done it, they've hand painted it orange, completely ruined it. Again, they've tried detailing it with the rear lights. I mean, they've done, and they've even managed to do the badge. So they've got the steady hand, obviously, but they've hand painted it. I don't think they've stripped down the original paint, judging by the lumps and bumps, but it's damaged. It's got dented roof, and yeah, it's pretty corroded at the bottom. I think the light's a bit. That's it. Yeah, so that's probably not, probably for resale. So if I get lots of the job lot cars I don't really want, I'll just box them all up again and flog them on eBay. So that's it. So that's 15 minutes of your life you'll never get back watching me again. So there we go. So possibly my next video will be of this ISO Griffo number 14. I'll do a little bit of research, find out when it was made. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the 3-part restoration of this gorgeous little truck, or lorry as some people call it. I don't mind, don't care. It says, yeah, it says truck on the bottom, so it's a truck. There you go, but some of us Brits are a bit particular. There you go. So all done. I hope you enjoyed that. No cock-ups today. Didn't spill anything. Hope I didn't swear too much, and I'll catch you in the next one. when hopefully this little bugger will be the star of the show. Until then, bye bye.